Yo, cheeseheads, buckle up, because Green Bay Packers news just dropped a bombshell that's shaking Titletown to its core. The Packers have pulled off the trade of the century, landing all-pro edge rusher Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys in a deal that's got the NFL buzzing. This isn't just a roster move. It's a seismic shift that could propel Green Bay to Super Bowl glory in 2025. With Jordan Love back at practice, Bo Melton flipping to cornerback, and now Parsons joining the defense, the Packers are ready to dominate. Let's dive into this blockbuster and what it means for our boys in green and gold. Picture this. It's August 28, 2025, and GM Brian Gutekunst just rewrote the script for the Packers season, trading 2 first-round picks and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons, a 26-year-old pass-rushing phenom with 52.5 career sacks. Is the kind of move that screams all in. Parsons, now the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, with a 4-year, $188 million deal, is a game-changer for Jeff Hafley's defense. But how does this trade supercharge the Packers, and can they overcome the loss of Clark to dominate the NFC North? Here's the hook, Packers Nation. This trade isn't just about adding a star. It's about transforming a defense that's already elite into a juggernaut. With Parsons joining Rashawn Gary and Edgerrin Cooper, Hafley's got a chessboard full of queens. Add in Jordan Love's return from thumb surgery and a Week 1 showdown against the Detroit Lions, and the stakes couldn't be higher. We're breaking down Parsons' impact, Love's recovery, Melton's wild position switch, and how this team is built for a deep playoff run. So, grab your cheesehead hat and let's get into it. This is Green Bay Packers news at its finest. So stick with me and let's unpack why 2025 would be our year. Go Pack Go! The news hit like a thunderbolt on August 28, 2025. Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys all-pro edge rusher, is now a Green Bay Packer. Per PackersNews.com, the Packers sent 2 first-round picks, 2026 and 2027, and defensive tackle Kenny Clark to Dallas for the 26-year-old superstar, then inked him to a record-breaking 4-year, $188 million contract with $136 million guaranteed. Parsons, with 52.5 sacks in 4 seasons and a league-leading 335 pressures since 2021, per Next Gen Stats, is a once-in-a-generation talent. This is Green Bay's biggest move since signing Reggie White in 1993, a deal that led to a Super Bowl in 1996. Why go all in now? The Packers' pass rush was solid but inconsistent last year, ranking 22nd in pressure rate, 29.6%, when rushing 4 or fewer, per Packers Wired USAtoday.com. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley worked miracles in 2024, turning a middling defense into a top 10 unit, 6th in points allowed, 19.9 per game, and 5th in total defense, 315.6 yards. But without a dominant edge rusher, Hafley had to get creative, using linebackers like Edgerrin Cooper and safety Xavier McKinney to generate pressure. Parsons changes everything, giving Hafley a queen in chess who could disrupt from any spot on the line. Parsons' versatility is what makes this trade a game-changer. He's played over 2,500 snaps on the defensive line and 800 at off-ball linebacker, per Packers Wired USAtoday.com. In Green Bay, he'll likely line up opposite Rashawn Gary, who had 7.5 sacks in 2024, creating a nightmare duo for NFC North quarterbacks like Jared Goff. But losing Kenny Clark, a 3-time Pro Bowler with 417 career tackles, hurts the interior. Can Parsons' havoc outweigh Clark's absence? Early reports suggest yes, but a Lions' potent offense in Week 1 will test that theory to SO Packers fans. What's the vibe? Is Parsons the missing piece to dethrone Detroit and make a Super Bowl run? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this move has Lambeau Field buzzing. With Parsons on board, Hafley's defense could be the best in the NFL, but the clock's ticking to integrate him before September 7th. Let's talk about how this trade reshapes our season. Jeff Hafley must be grinning ear to ear, and for good reason. As Kevin Potter of NFL Media put it, it's a good day to be Jeff Hafley. The Packers' defensive coordinator turned heads in 2024, taking a defense that ranked 26th in EPA per play in 2023 to 15th, per PFF.com. Green Bay's 45 sacks tied for 8th in the NFL, despite no single player dominating. Parsons, with a 19.3% pass rush win rate and 70 pressures in 2024, is the ultimate weapon Hafley's been missing. His arrival means less scheming to create pressure and more freedom for corners like Nate Hobbs and Kayshawn Nixon. The secondary has been a question mark since Jair Alexander's release, with Bo Melton's transition to cornerback adding intrigue. Melton, a former receiver, made the 53-man roster on August 26th per Packers.com. His 4.34 speed could shine in sub-packages. But Parsons' presence takes pressure off a young group that includes Carrington Valentine and rookie Micah Robinson. Last year, the Packers allowed just 14 plays of 30-plus yards, second best in the NFL, per ESPN.com. With Parsons' 30% pass rush win rate, tops in the league since 2021, opposing QBs will have even less time to test Green Bay's back, and Hafley's scheme thrives on rushing 4 and dropping 7, a vision he couldn't fully execute last year due to inconsistent pressure. Parsons, who's racked up 12-plus sacks every season, makes that dream a reality. Per WhisperTSHeroics.com, Hafley's already being eyed for head coaching jobs in 2026, and a dominant season with Parsons could seal the deal. But there's a catch. Parsons hasn't practiced since camp started, citing a back injury during his Cowboys hold-in. Will he be ready for the Lions, or is Green Bay rolling the dice? Here's the question, cheeseheads. Can Hafley unleash Parsons' full potential in Week 1, or will it take time to gel? The Lions, who averaged 27.1 points per game in 2024, are a brutal test. Drop your predictions in the comments. Can Parsons and Gary terrorize Goff, or will Detroit's revamped line hold up? This trade has raised the stakes, and Packers Nation is ready for a show. Now, let's talk about Jordan Love, because the Packers' offense is just as critical. On August 27th, Love returned to full practice just 15 days after thumb surgery, per Packers.com. The 26-year-old QB, who threw for 3,389 yards and 25 touchdowns in 2024, is the heart of this team. His recovery from a torn ligament in his left thumb, sustained in a preseason loss to the Jets, shows his toughness. "I'm feeling great," Love told reporters for CBSSports.com, ready to lead us into Week 1. That's the kind of fire we love in Green Bay. But the offense isn't without issues. The receiver core is banged up. Christian Watson's on the PUP list with a 2024 ACL tear. Jaden Reed's nursing a foot injury. And Romeo Dew and Dontavian Wicks are dealing with back and calf issues, per JSOnline.com. Rookie Matthew Golden and Mecole Hardman have shown promise, but Love needs his top targets back to exploit Detroit's secondary. Last year, he struggled against the Lions, completing 59.3% of his passes for 479 yards and just 1 touchdown and 2 losses. Can he turn around? The offensive line, despite injuries to Aaron Banks and Jacob Monk, has been a bright spot per NFL.com. Protecting Love is priority 1 against a Lions front that racked up 46 sacks in 2024. With Parsons now anchoring the defense, the pressure's on Love to match that intensity. His 63.5% career completion rate and 60 touchdowns in 33 starts show he's capable. But timing with his receivers is key. What's the ceiling for this offense if everyone's healthy? Packers fans, let's get loud. Can Love and the offense keep up with Parsons' defense in Week 1? Will Golden and Hardman step up in Watson's absence? Hit the comments with your hot takes, because this team's got Super Bowl potential, but the injury bug is lurking. With Parsons and Love leading the charge, the Packers are a force. Let's see how they stack up against the NFC North champs. Let's zoom out to the bigger picture. This trade makes the Packers legit Super Bowl contenders. Per The Athletic, Green Bay is now in the same tier as the Eagles and Lions in the NFC, thanks to Parsons' arrival. The 2024 defense was already elite. 4th in takeaways, 31. 6th in points allowed, 19.9 per game, and tied for 8th in sacks, 45. Parsons, with 103 pressures in 2023 and 44 quick pressures, per TheRinger.com, elevates them to another level. But losing Kenny Clark, who had 35 career sacks and anchored the interior, raises questions about run defense. The NFC North is a gauntlet, and Parsons gives Green Bay an edge against quarterbacks like Goff, J.J. McCarthy, and Caleb Williams. Per NFL.com, Detroit's interior line is in transition. Chicago's left tackle is a weak spot, and Minnesota's blockers are coming off injuries. Parsons' 21.1% pressure rate since 2021, per next-gen stats, will feast on those vulnerabilities. But Clark's absence could hurt against power runners like David Montgomery. Will Lucas Van Ness and Devontae Wyatt fill the void, or is interior liability? Brian Gutekunst deserves a standing ovation for this gamble. Per ESPN.com, he compared Parsons to Reggie White, and the parallels are eerie. Both had 12-plus sacks in their first 4 seasons. White's arrival in 1993 sparked a Super Bowl run. Can Parsons do the same? The $47 million annual salary is steep, but with $30 million in 2025 cap space, Green Bay can absorb it, per JSOnline.com. Still, future cap hits and no first-round picks until 2028 could sting. Is this worth the risk for a title? Packers Nation, what's your call? Does Parsons make us the NFC's best team? Or do we need more to beat Philly and San Fran? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this trade has us dreaming of Lombardi Trophy number 5. With Week 1 just 11 days away, the Lions are about to feel the heat. Let's get ready for a battle at Lambeau. As we count down to September 7th, the Packers are firing on all cylinders. Parsons' addition pairs perfectly with Hafley's aggressive scheme, which forced 31 takeaways in 2024, per ESPN.com. Linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, a rookie standout, and safety Xavier McKinney, with 8 picks last year, give Hafley a loaded toolbox. But Parsons' back injury, reported during his Cowboys hold-in, is a wild card. Per WisconsinRapidsTribune.com, he hasn't practiced since camp started. Can he shake off the rust in time for Detroit? The offense, meanwhile, hinges on Love's chemistry with his receivers. Per Packers.com, joint practices with the Ravens showed progress, with Golden hauling in a 40-yard touchdown from Love. But with Watson out and others banged up, tight ends Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft could be X-factors. Musgrave's camp highlight reel, per JSOnline.com, includes a red zone score, though an ankle tweak has him questionable. Can the tight ends carry the load if the receivers aren't ready? The Lions game is a statement moment. Detroit's 15-3 record in one-score games last year won't repeat, per ESPN.com, and the coordinator losses weaken their edge. But their offense, with 27.1 points per game in 2024, is a beast. Parsons and Garrett could overwhelm their line, but Love needs to exploit a secondary that allowed 6.4 yards per pass attempt. What's the key to a Week 1 win? Defense or offense? Cheeseheads, let's talk strategy. Should Hafley unleash Parsons as a pure edge rusher or move him around like he did in Dallas? Can Love outduel Goff? Hit the comments with your game plan, because this is our chance to start 1-0 and show the NFC we're for real. The Packers are loaded and Lambeau's ready to erupt. Let's make some noise. This is why we live for the Packers. Bold moves, big dreams, and a legacy of greatness. Micah Parsons is our Reggie White for 2025, a Hall of Fame talent who could define this era. Jordan Love's return, Bo Melton's hustle, and Hafley's vision have us on the brink of something special. But the injuries, Watson, Reed, Dew, and more remind us nothing's guaranteed. The Lions are coming, and they've owned us lately, going 2-0 in 2024. Can we flip the script and start a Super Bowl run? The fan base is electric. Posts on X call this trade a game changer, and Parsons a final piece. Love's recovery has fans chanting MVP, and Melton's switch has sparked underdog fever. Gutekunst's gamble, trading Clark and picks, shows he's all in, but the pressure's on to deliver. Per CBSSports.com, Parsons' 11 sacks after a 2024 ankle sprain prove he's a warrior. Can he be the difference maker against Detroit's high-powered attack? Looking ahead, the Packers face a brutal stretch: Washington, Dallas, and Minnesota after Detroit. Parsons' ability to disrupt QBs like Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott, whom he knows well, could swing those games. Love's 8,154 career yards and 18-15 record as a starter show he's ready. But the offense needs health. What's the ceiling for this team? A division title, an NFC championship, or more? Packers Nation, this is our moment. Smash that like button if you're hyped for Micah Parsons in green and gold. Drop a comment with your Week 1 score prediction and tell us how far this team can go. Subscribe and hit the bell for every Green Bay Packers news update. And share this video with every cheesehead you know. Let's pack Lambeau and show the NFL what we're made of. Go Pack Go!